Hello everyone and welcome to Slipjoint Sawyer. Today we're going to be taking a look at an exclusive Victorinox Swiss Army knife, and this is one that was made for Saks exclusively. Now I believe this is a group on Facebook, not actually a member myself, but I do know a lot of groups around the world have had Swiss Army knives sort of custom designs or custom variations made up, and I thought we'd take a look at one today that I picked up off the secondary market. Comes in the standard sort of rectangle box. You're not going to get any sort of model numbers or anything on here because of course it was made just for the group, so I'm not even sure of the quantity. Probably 100 or less, I would imagine. Victorinox on the back there. The standard sort of slide out box with a little cutout inside there. And this is going to be the Cadet 2. But you can see this one especially has these really, I mean, they're excellent. I love this thing. This digital Arctic camo on the pressed A-locks. Look at that. On the back you can see you've got their logo, Saks exclusively, laser engraved on the little blue tab. Now interestingly, this is the Cadet 2, but it was originally called just the Cadet because when it was first released it had the ribbed scales instead, so it was just lined rather than checkered, and it had a small clip point blade. And then eventually when the clip point blade went away, they replaced it with the pen blade. And then in more recent times, as you'll probably know with the Cadet, they replaced it with the nail file. Now when the nail file 1 was released, that took the name Cadet 2, but then over time the nail file 1 took the original name, and then the one with the blade became Cadet 2. So not something that happens a lot with Victorinox, but it definitely happens with some of their models out there. But it's an 84mm design, so the mid-size. We've got nickel silver pins holding this thing together. See, we've got a nice spacer between the two back springs. Of course, no back tools or scale tools on this, it being A-locks. We have a keyring on the nice little keyring tab up here. On the front layer, we have the can opener with the small flathead screwdriver, and you can see this thing is unused, so it's pretty much brand new in box. Very nice snap on the open for that, and that tumbled polished finish which you'll get on pretty much every Victorinox model. Nice action on the open and on the close. Pull strength is right about, I'd say about a 6, which is pretty good. Not bad for a little Swiss Army knife like this. The left hand side then you get the cap lifter with the wire bender and the larger of the two flathead screwdrivers. Of course that's on a half stop, so you can get a little bit of extra torque when you're using it. But I mean, it's a pinned knife, so I wouldn't be putting too much torque on this, because eventually if you put too much on it, it will sort of create space between the liner and the scales, and then you'll have play in the tool, and that's not ideal. And then nice little click on the open. You can see that tool a bit better there with a nice nail nick, flathead screwdriver on that side, and then you can see where it's chamfered down to a much finer point. You've got the little ramp going down here. Nice action on that. Of course, get the double snap with it being a half stop on this one. On the back layer then you get the main blade, and you can see this has the group's name laser engraved on there. Now I'm not a huge fan of laser engraved names on blades, especially when they're quite generic text like this. I don't mind maybe if they'd have gone with similar to the logo on here, that would have been pretty cool, but it looks like they've just picked the generic text, which is not as aesthetically pleasing. But I mean, it's going to be a knife that's going to sort of stay in the collection, not really going to use this one too much. But it has the most modern tang stamp on it, which means it was made sometime after 2011. So you can see you've got Victorinox with the same size V, Swiss made, nearly the same length, and then stainless underneath. And on the back you have Officer Swiss. Now this is going to be a very UK and pretty much world friendly knife, with the blade being under that 3-inch. So we'll take a look at the full blade length is, where are we? We've got 2 inches for the cutting edge, pretty much bang on, maybe 2.1, and then 2.6, 2.7 inches for the full blade length, pretty standard for all the 84mm models. That goes for the A-locks and the Cellidor versions. No half stop, but nice action. About a 6 on the pull, and probably about a 5 on the break. Maybe even a 6. Yeah, about a 6. And then on the back you get the pen blade. Now of course, as I said at the start of the video, Originally this would have been the small clip point blade, but once they sort of did away with those, everything became these small drop point, spear point, pen blades, whatever you want to call it. Nice little nail neck, very nice factory edge on this, same as it was on the main blade. Nice little stock on here, nail neck, and I mean this blade's smaller than the legal main blade, but we'll take a look at the length just so everyone can see. So we have a 1.5, 1.6, 1.7-ish cutting edge, and then, no, what am I doing? 1.5 inch full length and a 1.3 right about cutting edge, so very standard again. Nothing that's going to sort of scare anybody that's not a knife person with this. I mean, you can quite clearly see this is not a weapon, it's a little tiny pocket knife. But I really dig in these camo scales, I think they look great. Wonder if I can find some more of these, maybe in like a red camo or a green jungle camo, I think would look really cool. But you can see the Victorinox shield stamped on there has got the blue in the background. I think that really adds to it. It wouldn't have looked right with the red, so I'm glad they went with the blue behind that. Nice slender design then, the Cadet, perfect for a minimalist EDC or something you want to just put on your keys. My brother actually carries a Cadet on his keys. It's one of the ones I sent him, just the standard silver Cadet with the file. But it's about the largest size I want to put on my keys. The 91s are a bit big and the 93 is definitely too big to go on keys. But I mean, if you want to do that, feel free. But my preference, this is the largest I'd go for sort of a keyring carry. Overall, really impressed with this thing. I think it's fantastic. Big fan of the Cadet anyway. And I didn't actually have a Cadet 2, so it's nice to have one in the collection with a little pen blade on there as well. Everything just fits superbly with Victorinox. They really know what they're doing. I mean, look at the tolerance between those tools. They're not rubbing. They're incredibly close, but there's no rub at all. So we have the can opener, cap lifter, we have the main blade, and then we have the pen blade on the other side. So very simple, very basic, but it'll definitely get you through your sort of everyday carry. But there we go, guys. That's my review of the Victorinox Cadet 2, the Saks exclusive. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.